Admiral insists Royal Navy would have no problem battling a Russian naval force. Russia's resurgent naval presence in the Baltic would be no match for a British task group, which would sink them and be home in time for tea and medals, a former head of the Royal Navy has threatened. Admiral Lord Alan West has insisted a UK-led naval force would come off on top if a sea clash were to happen between the Royal Navy and the Russian fleet in the region. The former security minister's comments come just days after Russia was branded a hostile threat in Britain's new integrated defence and security review. Over the past few years, the Kremlin has been investing in its navy, bolstering the numbers of its Baltic fleet, which is made up of 53 warships and 3 submarines. Among the new additions to the flotilla include 4 of Russia's newest breed of Steregush C-class corvettes. Moscow insists the naval force's primary duty is to protect the main city of St. Petersburg and Russia's Baltic bastion of Kaliningrad. However, threatened Baltic states have lashed out over the increased presence of Russian vessels in the region. This week, 2 Portsmouth-based frigates finished leading a task group in a series of war drills in the Baltic, the first deployment of its kind this year, which forms part of the UK's wider defence commitment to the area. Lord West said, "There's no doubt that Russia is seen as a hostile power. They're working in the grey zone and doing all sort of silly things. In the last few years they have rejuvenated their navy and producing some very good kit. The new submarines, for instance, are very good. I still think with a proper balanced Royal Navy task group, with the F-35s, nuclear submarines and Type 45 destroyers, that if we met up with a group of their ships, particularly their old, the Admiral Kuznetsov batted carrier, which is rubbish, it would be a very good ending. We'd sink them all and be home for tea and medals." Frigates HMS Lancaster and Westminster, plus British tank RFA Tiderachi spent a week in the waters of Northern Europe this month. The exercise was a test of the UK-led Joint Expeditionary Force, which saw the Portsmouth sailors working alongside Baltic counterparts from Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia. Working in icy conditions, warships from the fleet carried out joint maneuvers in close company, tested their gunnery skills and practiced maritime security operations. After the drills concluded, Lancaster and Westminster sailed to join NATO's Northern Europe force, Standing Group 1, where they again carried out maneuvers, refueling drills and air defense training. Then how to counter Russian hypersonic missile. But we believe UK can counter it. And we wait for good news. As far we know, Russia has developed an unstoppable, hypersonic missile capable of destroying the Royal Navy's most sophisticated warships, the Sunday People can reveal. Kremlin military chiefs claim they have built an anti-ship cruise missile capable of traveling at between 5 and 6 times the speed of sound, 3,800 miles per hour to 4,600 miles per hour. Now experts fear the missile, called the Zircon, could sink the Royal Navy's 2 new £6 billion state-of-the-art aircraft carriers in a single strike. The missile flies more than twice the speed of a sniper's bullet and is almost impossible to stop. The cruise missile is powered by a scramjet, an air-breathing jet engine that can reach incredible speeds. A swarm attack involving a dozen missiles against the world's most modern warships would be devastating, experts believe. The Zircon missile is believed to have a range of up to 500 miles and can be fitted with a series of warheads from high explosive to nuclear. It can be fired from land, sea and submarines and could prove to be the most important and deadly weapon of the 21st century. One senior defense source last night described the Zircon as a potential game changer. The missile can be programmed in flight to search out and attack a target while at the same time avoiding anti-missile missiles. The Zircon is so fast that it can outrun the Royal Navy's Sea Scepter, which is designed to shoot down missiles traveling at 2,300 miles per hour, much slower than the estimated speed of a Zircon. Now some military experts believe that hypersonic missiles could make massive aircraft carriers redundant. Aircraft carriers need to be positioned so that their planes can attack targets at a range which allows them to return to the ship before they run out of fuel. But the only protection against hypersonic cruise missile would be for carriers to stay out of range. The Russians call this strategy area denial. One senior naval source said, "Hypersonic missiles are virtually unstoppable. The whole idea of the carrier is the ability to project power. But with no method of protecting themselves against missiles like the Zircon, the carrier would have to stay out of range, hundreds of miles out at sea. Its planes would be useless and the whole basis of a carrier task force would be redundant. Testing of the Zircon hypersonic cruise missile began this year and they could be fitted to a nuclear-powered cruiser by 2022. The Kremlin is believed to have restarted a program initiated by the Soviet Union in the 1980s. Pete Sanderman, a naval expert, said, "Defense against hypersonic missiles presents a huge challenge to surface ships. There is so little time to react that even if detected, existing defenses may be entirely inadequate. Even if the missile is broken up or detonated by close-in weapons, the debris has so much kinetic energy that the ship may still be badly damaged." A Royal Navy spokesperson said, "We keep threats under constant review but do not comment on force protection measures."